Welcome back to Shaw Crafts. On today's episode, we're going to be making a dice tower. Not just any dice tower, but a really big dice tower, over 2 feet tall. So stick around and see how it was done. I started by using a 6-inch hole saw to cut up 32 scrap 3/4 inch pieces of plywood. I'll be using a 5/8 dowel as the center of the tower. I start marking the spot where I will be drilling the dice hole. Using a 2-inch hole saw, I start drilling. I started testing to see what the proper distance for a good roll of the dice would be and decided on a 1/4 inch spacing. I finished drilling everything and then started sanding. I started sanding the smaller hole, and on the bottom section I put an angle for the exit area. I then glued small sections together so I could keep the spacing correct. More gluing and clamping. Even more gluing, even bigger clamps. With the main section built, I started gluing the exit of the dice tower. I then cut off the ends of the dowel. Using a Dremel, I started cutting a groove into the wood, and then started gluing the lights into the groove. These were orange Halloween lights that I bought from the Dollar Tree. With all of it glued in place, a final test. I then started making the base, cutting a hole for the battery pack. I then cut up a piece of Dollar Tree Ready board into smaller pieces to make bricks, and then started gluing them in place. I left the area around the lights open, as these would be windows, and I painted them black. Using a Ziploc bag that had a white plastic section, I cut it out and then glued that over the lights to make the window. I then glued more bricks around the windows. I then started making decorative bricks for around the door and the windows and a windowsill. With the windows finished, I made an edge for the base to keep the dice from rolling off, and a top for the tower to keep the dice in place. I used a hot wire tool to do these. With everything finished, I started base coating everything in black. Using a dark gray, I started sponging the whole tower, and then I moved to a lighter gray. I finished with an off-white in a dry brush around all the bricks. I then glued in black plastic embroidery sheets to make the windows. I started doing finishing work by making a staircase and then black washing it and then painting the torches. Using PVA glue, I added green flocking to make some moss around some of the bricks. I then hot glued some hanging moss, followed by the torch flames, which were actually from Legos. Lastly, I painted a cobblestone road. And here's the finished tower. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. It was a interesting project to say the least. To answer a few questions that'll probably pop up. Did I need a dice tower that's over 2 feet tall? No. Did I want one? Yes. Things that I would probably change. I'd probably add a switch to it as it's pretty top heavy. So trying to get to the on-off switch is a little difficult. Well, I hope you enjoyed the build, and I want to thank you for watching. If you'd like to, go ahead and subscribe and keep up to date with the upcoming builds. If you have any comments or suggestions, please let me know. And again, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.